A Tokyo family earning just $35,000 a year sleeps soundly, while an American household making more than 4 times as much is kept awake by anxiety over bills, healthcare, and violence. The numbers don't add up unless you see what is quietly holding each world together. What if almost everything you believe about security, happiness, and wealth in the modern age is backwards? Here's the reality no one is talking about. Evening settles over a Tokyo apartment just big enough for 3. The family's home measures 38 square meters, about the size of a 2-car garage, and every corner serves a purpose. Shoes are lined up by the door, coats tucked away, and the living room doubles as a bedroom when the futons come out. Dinner is simple: bowls of steaming rice, grilled fish, miso soup, and pickled vegetables, all prepared for less than $4 per person. The parents talk quietly about their day while their daughter finishes her homework at the low table. Outside their window, the city glows with the steady rhythm of trains and bicycles. Their income, around $35,000 a year, would barely cover rent in many American cities. But here it is enough for fresh food, reliable health care, and a sense of calm. The father's commute is uneventful: a short walk to the station, a train ride where children ride alone without fear, and a stroll past corner shops selling lunchboxes for a few hundred yen. There is no need for a car, no worry about parking, no late-night anxiety about neighborhood safety. After dinner, the family watches television together in the same room where they will sleep. There is laughter, gentle teasing, and the comfort of routine. The walls are thin, but the sense of security is thick. Even with modest means, the essentials are covered. Health insurance is automatic, the streets are safe, and the cost of a balanced meal is low enough that no one goes hungry. It is not luxury, but it is enough. In this compact space, peace and stability feel like birthrights, not privileges to be earned. For this Tokyo family, the day ends without dread for tomorrow. Morning begins before sunrise in a suburban American home. The parents move quietly through a kitchen stocked with brand-name cereal and imported coffee, their eyes on the clock. The house covers 65 square meters, nearly double the Tokyo apartment, but every room feels scattered. Teenagers eat alone at the counter, scrolling through phones. The driveway holds 2 cars, each costing over $10,000 a year to own and maintain. The family's combined income tops $150,000. Yet the sense of security is fragile. The father's commute is a daily battle. He merges onto a crowded freeway, inching forward in a line of brake lights stretching for miles. Gas prices fluctuate, but the monthly bill never seems to go down. Insurance, maintenance, registration, owning a car is not a choice, but a necessity. Public transit is either non-existent or too unreliable to risk being late for work. Lunch is a $15 sandwich eaten at a desk, or a $25 meal at a chain restaurant. Even fast food, once a cheap staple, now drains wallets with every visit. The parents check their bank app before buying groceries, calculating if they can afford organic produce this week. A single dinner out for 4 can erase the savings from a week's packed lunches. Bills stack up on the kitchen table: mortgage, car payments, utilities, internet, streaming services. The family pays for private health insurance, but the fine print is a constant worry. One unexpected medical bill could wipe out their emergency fund. The teens talk about college, but tuition costs loom like a cloud. Evenings are spent shuttling between activities in separate cars, everyone returning home at different times. The house is quiet despite its size. Doors close, lights flicker in different rooms, and the day ends with a sense of exhaustion. For all the income, comfort feels conditional, just one setback away from slipping. In this world of plenty, peace of mind is always just out of reach. In Japan, the fear of medical bills upending a family's life is almost non-existent. The country's National Health Insurance Act, passed in 1961 after months of heated debate in the Diet, established a system where every resident is automatically covered. Each year, families contribute premiums scaled to their income, but the real safeguard lies in the cap on out-of-pocket spending. Even for a costly hospital stay or one surgery, the maximum personal expense is around $700 per year. Once that threshold is reached, the government covers the rest, no matter how complex the treatment. For a Tokyo household earning $35,000, this means a routine clinic visit costs just a few dollars, and a major operation never leads to financial ruin. The billing process is straightforward: a single statement, no surprises, no negotiations with insurance companies. Preventive checkups are the norm, and specialist care is accessible without gatekeepers. The focus is on early intervention, keeping families healthy and cost predictable. In the United States, even families earning $150,000 can find themselves at risk. Employer-based insurance may promise coverage, but the reality is a patchwork of deductibles, co-pays, and exclusions. There is no national cap on what a household might owe. A single trip to the emergency room or a scheduled surgery can generate bills in the tens of thousands. Medical debt affects 41% of American adults, and every year over 530,000 families file for bankruptcy because of healthcare costs. Even those with robust coverage often face months of wrangling with providers, insurers, and collection agencies, forced to choose between paying bills and saving for the future. Japan's system does not eliminate illness or suffering, but it removes the threat of financial collapse. The peace of mind this brings is woven into everyday life. When a parent in Tokyo schedules a doctor's visit, there is no calculation about whether the family can afford it. The safety net is not a privilege, but a guarantee. This quiet assurance stands in sharp contrast to the anxiety that shadows even affluent American households, where a single diagnosis can unravel years of careful planning. The difference is not just in numbers, but in the lived experience of risk, or the lack of it. A 6-year-old in a navy blue cap steps onto the morning train, gripping her yellow satchel. She stands among suited commuters, her feet barely touching the floor, eyes fixed on the next station sign. In Tokyo, this is ordinary. 8 out of 10 children in Japan travel to school on their own, navigating sidewalks and subways without an adult. The city is built for them. Crosswalks play music, shopkeepers greet familiar faces, and neighbors watch from doorways. Parents trust the system, and the system earns that trust. Violent crime is rare. Japan's homicide rate sits at 0.2 per 100,000 people. In the United States, it is 34 times higher. For families, this difference is not just a statistic. It is the reason a child can walk to school, buy a snack, or visit a friend without fear. The streets are alive with children's voices, not warnings. American parents, by contrast, often hesitate to let a 10-year-old walk to the corner store alone. Less than 10% of children in the United States enjoy this level of freedom, a gap rooted in both real dangers and the anxiety that follows them home. The design of Japanese neighborhoods supports this freedom. Narrow streets slow down cars. Parks and playgrounds are woven into residential blocks, never more than a short walk away. Every train station is a hub of community life, with convenience stores and bakeries opening before dawn. The morning rush is a tide of uniforms, with school children, office workers, and elders moving together in predictable patterns. In this environment, a child's solo commute is not an act of bravery, but a rite of passage. This sense of safety did not happen by accident. In the early 1970s, Tokyo's leaders made a decisive choice: invest in rail, not highways. While American cities built expressways and suburbs, Tokyo doubled down on public transit. The result is a city where cars are optional and strangers share space daily. Social trust grows in these shared environments, reinforced by rules that everyone learns from childhood. For a family of modest means, the city itself becomes a protector, with no need for private security, gated communities, or constant vigilance. Here, safety is not a privilege, but a public good, visible in every child who walks out the door alone. 12 simple zoning categories shape Tokyo's neighborhoods. Unlike the hundreds of overlapping codes in most American cities, these rules allow small shops, apartments, clinics, and homes to mix on a single block. A bakery sits next to a school, a dentist above a grocery, and every street feels alive with purpose. This flexibility means that when a family needs a new home, builders can respond quickly, with no years-long battles with city councils or angry homeowners blocking change. As a result, housing supply keeps up with demand. Over 3/4 of Japan's homes have been built since 1981, and the city's growth has not priced out its residents. Public housing offers another layer of security. Across Japan, 2.16 million units are reserved for those who need them most: single parents, elders living alone, or families facing hard times. These apartments are not hidden away or marked by stigma. They blend into the fabric of the city, often sharing courtyards and playgrounds with private homes. Local governments update these buildings through 5-year plans, focusing on comfort and accessibility. For a family earning $35,000 a year, the safety net is visible, practical, and close at hand. Inside many Tokyo homes, generations live together under one roof. More than half, 58% of Japanese adults over 60, co-reside with family. Grandparents help with school pickups, cook meals, and share household expenses. In return, they receive care and companionship as they age. The arrangement is not just tradition, but a practical answer to rising rents and the high cost of elder care. For younger parents, support is always nearby. For children, family bonds are a daily presence, not a holiday visit. In the U.S., just 15 to 17% of elders share a home with relatives. The difference shows up in day-to-day life. Fewer worries about childcare, less isolation for seniors, and a sense of continuity that softens life's shocks. An elder visiting her daughter's Tokyo apartment finds herself embraced by routine. She helps prepare dinner, folds laundry, and listens to her granddaughter's stories. The space is tight, but the feeling of belonging is strong. Here, the built environment and family structure work together, creating a foundation that holds steady even when money is scarce. In the decades after World War II, Japan and the United States took sharply different paths in how they shaped their economies and societies. Japanese policymakers, facing a devastated nation and scarce resources, pressed for a system that would serve the needs of workers, families, and communities. The result was a framework often called stakeholder capitalism, where companies were expected to balance the interests of employees, customers, and society, not just maximize profits for investors. This approach found its roots in post-war reforms, as government ministries and business leaders agreed that stability and social harmony would drive long-term growth. Corporate boards included union representatives, and lifetime employment became an unwritten contract at major firms. Neighborhood banks lent to local businesses, and the Ministry of Finance kept a tight grip on speculation and hostile takeovers. Meanwhile, in the United States, a different philosophy took hold. By the 1970s and 1980s, the doctrine of shareholder primacy gained momentum. Boards and executives were rewarded for boosting stock prices, often at the expense of job security and community investment. Lobbyists for banks, insurance companies, and large corporations shaped policy in Washington, defeating attempts to create universal health care and rolling back regulations. The incentives for American companies shifted. Quarterly earnings and dividends became the yardstick for success, while workers' interests faded into the background. Even as productivity soared, wages for most families stagnated. The profits flowed upward, fueling a culture where wealth accumulation and private consumption became measures of a good life. Japan's resistance to these trends was not accidental. In the early 2000s, when real estate speculation threatened to drive up housing costs, the government passed the Urban Renaissance Special Measures Law. Taxes discouraged flipping and hoarding, and density bonuses were used to keep neighborhoods affordable. Developers who pushed back found little support. Public testimony from housing advocates like Masako Saito made headlines, and city councils sided with residents. In the United States, by contrast, local governments often bowed to homeowner groups and real estate lobbies, creating a maze of zoning codes that limited new housing and drove prices ever higher. The divide runs deeper than policy. It is built into the rules that shape daily life: who benefits from growth, who bears the risks, and who gets a voice when decisions are made. For Japanese families, the system rewards stability and shared prosperity. For many Americans, the rules tilt toward those with capital and influence, leaving even high earners anxious about the future. A Tokyo family with a modest income finishes the day knowing their basic needs are covered. The roof overhead is secure, the food on the table is healthy and affordable, and the walk to school or work is safe. Medical bills are predictable, never threatening to unravel years of careful planning. Grandparents share the load, watching grandchildren and lending wisdom, while parents focus on work and rest, confident that a single setback will not send them spiraling. The city itself acts as a safety net. Trains run on time, parks are always nearby, and the neighborhood is stitched together by trust built over generations. This everyday stability lets people plan with confidence. Across the Pacific, a high-earning American household faces a different reality. Income flows in, but so do the bills, car payments, insurance premiums, tuition, and the ever-present risk of a medical emergency that could erase savings overnight. The home is larger, but so are the distances between family members, both physically and emotionally. Safety feels like a private purchase, not a public guarantee. Parents double-check locks and bank balances, calculating how long they could last if something went wrong. Even with abundance, the margin for error is thin. The contrast is not about who works harder or who deserves more. It is about the rules that govern daily life. Japan's systems of universal healthcare, walkable neighborhoods, responsive housing policy, and the expectation of shared responsibility make stability accessible, not exclusive. These are not accidents of culture or geography. They are choices shaped by decades of policy and public will. In Japan, peace of mind is built into the structure of society, not left to the luck of the individual. The evidence is written in the routines of ordinary families, meals shared, streets filled with children, elders cared for at home. When security is a public good, even those with less can live with more certainty. The lesson is clear. When the system works, income matters less than the foundation it stands on. Right now in America, earning more does not guarantee peace, health, or community, while in Japan, modest incomes still unlock stability. Most U.S. families chase in vain. As nations face rising inequality and social strain, the systems we build shape daily reality more than any paycheck. Quality of life is not just what you earn, it is what society chooses to value. What would you want your country to prioritize?